I think that's we're live noise here. Tony's got for us this morning. Hey guys, it is Wednesday, so we are here with you today. I've got lovely Miss Terry from our sewing department, and we are gonna make some of those amazing clutch kits that you can buy. So we've got, for those of you that have seen our catalog or looked online, we've got these really awesome clutch kits that are made out of kid skin. So our strip and ash kid skin, I think right now we do it in 4 different colors, 5 different colors. 5, something like that. We've got this beautiful bright pink one here.
Fuchsia.
This fuchsia situation. And so we're going to go all the way from where we start with our pieces cut out all the way through to completion with at least one of these. And then one of them we were going to lace here later, a little bit later. Terry loves to lace, so we were going to do one lace just so you guys could see what that looks like, but we won't do that during the video because that would be a whole video all on its own. It would be like a Denny tooling.
Yeah.
Like just the calm. Anyways, you guys can watch somebody lace somewhere else. Anyways, so
you're getting distracted already.
I'm so distracted. Yeah, so I'm super excited. I know we've had so many questions. We've had this kit out for several years now, and I don't believe that we've done a video on it, and several people have asked in the past just to show, because it is a little bit complicated when it comes to construction, putting it together. Clutches to get all those parts and pieces in there, they can be a little bit complicated, and so we are just going to kind of go through and show you what it takes for us to make the insides that you get, and then we'll take you from that point all the way to completion. And so we've got a whiskey kit today and a turquoise colored interior today. We're doing one of the standard versions, and then we also have one set up to be deluxe. So with the standard, you will get a zippered kind of like coin center pouch, and then like your backs and all of that. With the deluxe version, it does come with an ID window that's already attached, plus what I like to call this like pocket packet, which is
six pocket.
Yeah, exactly. So it's got all of these pockets stacked up on this little panel that you sew into the back of the clutch. So just more pocket options.
Yeah.
We have brought in our bell knife skiver today to show you how we go about, getting all these parts and pieces assembled. And then we've also got our class 20 over here. So Terry, are you ready?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, we're gonna start bell knifing and assembling. So you wanna grab those?
Yep.
And then we'll do this. So just to reiterate again, when you get these kits, this part is already done for you, what we're about to do now. But we just figured, since we've got the hour, we'll just do the whole thing. Oh, his camera turned off. There it is. So this is an MP4 bell knife. And we've had this one for a long time. I think it's actually an artisan, is it not?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably one of the oldest machines in our shop.
You're good.
So there's just a little 1/2 inch bell knife that we want to do. It's really thin, just enough to where we turn it under.
Do a rolled edge.
Then we're also going to do these little pockets on the sides, so when we go to assemble it, it'll lay down nice. You just take it really slow when you're at the corner, because you don't want to nip it.
Look at that.
There we go.
Yeah, this machine is really pretty awesome time saver. Okay.
You want me to belt
Here.
knife everything?
Yes. Might as well just get all that done with.
Did it all.
I'll actually grab these so I can go in the zipper.
The kid skin is so thin anyway, but you want to have a good trimmed edge, a rolled edge on it. You don't have a lot of bulk.
Was that silly? Did I give you the clear insert? I did.
Yeah, you did.
I sure
I
did.
just said it there.
Try skiving that plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bill Nye Skyber in your shop is a true lifesaver. I'm sure they have hand tools that do it as well, but for a big business, it would be very well invested.
I was gonna say, once you get a sewing machine that does what you need it to do for the sewing part, really a bell knife is probably one of the next best things.
Yeah. I'm sure that noise is quite irritating for some. All right, Miss Liz. There you go.
Well, you want to come over here and I'm going to get this ID window going and then we can start doing, these rectangular panels are for our zippered, the zippered gusset that we put in. So we're going to go ahead, we've got those top edges bell knifed, so they get rolled and then a zipper is put in there. So let's see here, I was going to say, let's trade you on this. And then here's the basting tape.
Yeah.
And then Terry, so I've got the basting tape around the window part of it. And then do I put this down and then I lay more basting tape?
I put another piece of basting tape here.
Oh, right there. The wide one?
Right.
Okay.
And then that way, when you go to sew your window, then you just pull this off and turn it under.
Perfect. Okay.
So.
Wanda said I just arrived. So this is our kid skin. It comes at a 2 to 3, isn't it? It's like
Yep.
2.5. It's probably one of the most consistent leathers that we sell. And then we are bell knifing it down to probably about an ounce there on the edges that we hit.
Taping is one of your main things, because if you don't tape it, you're just not consistent with what you want. I tape it on both sides, and I'll show you in a minute just why I do that.
I don't know if you guys could tell, but Terry's made a couple of these. It's just like a few hundred, right?
Yeah. Yeah, every time you order,
Okay.
one of us has touched them for sure.
Little ID window here. So Terry will throw a stitch around the inside to hold the ID window, and then it'll get sewn to one of these guys, which I will mark now. So we've got her handy dandy jig that she uses every time somebody orders. This goes face down. Oh, all the way. So let me throw some tape on there.
I'll sew it first.
Oh, she'll sew it first because she knows what she's doing. Don't tape it down before you're... Actually, that is one thing with the kid skin. The finish on the kid skin can be a little bit delicate. And so making sure that you're not putting tape where you don't want it, because if you peel it off, you kind of peel off that nice shiny finish. I mean, you could probably put, some quick shine back on it or something like that, but just be careful with the kid skins.
If you want to use the roller edge guide, it's super handy, making sure that you don't squiggle.
We don't want wiggles.
No squiggles. You always hold your top thread. First 2 stitches. Then you end. And finish this one off. Start over on this side.
And what are you using, Terry? Black 69?
Black 69.
Okay.
You can do 138, but all of our kits come 69. And they all normally come in black stitching. Except for the Finichi, and it gets white.
The fuchsia. The fuchsia gets the white. Yeah.
Oh, that's the other paint, isn't it?
It is.
That's what we're gonna edge with.
We did. We brought in some Finichi edge paint. So for the kit that we're not going to lace, we will do some black edge coating on that with the Finichi edge coats.
In my guide, I just used my presser foot.
Just right there on the edge of the window.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Take away.
Away. Alrighty. You're gonna come get your zippers installed.
Heck yeah. Okay. Here's the zipper pouch, and I taped it on both sides, see? So you want to take your tape off of the inside part. And when you do that, you're going to fold it, and now you're going to fold it right where that tape on the outside is. See? So it makes it easy for you to put your zipper on there without, when you go to fold it and then try to put the tape on there.
Ah.
Sneaky, huh?
Yeah.
We're gonna do brown on this one, right?
Yeah.
Brown on that one?
I suppose we could just do black.
Whatever thrills. What is the,
Wherever floats your boat.
yeah.
Okay, so we'll line this guy up. Right there. There we go.
So when I put these zippers on, I usually like to turn them under so when it's finished, there's no rough edges.
Sure.
Let me do this one next.
Yep, there we go. And then I will put the zipper in. Oh, you know what? Let me actually, since you've got all that, let's go ahead and assemble this thing.
Can you show what a finished one? Do we have a finished one in here?
We have a finished interior.
Mm-hmm.
Can you show what one looks like there?
We're about ready to get there.
I know, but somebody wants to see it, so.
So this is on the interior. Let's see here. So this is just a standard one. You've got just two back panels that come. On the deluxe, it will come, like Terry right now is about ready to sew that ID window on, so one of the back panels will have an ID already sewn on it, but this is what you receive. You receive two pockets, and then you receive this gusseted zipper pouch.
She's going to town.
Terry doesn't waste no
I
time.
do order some. Is my lighter over there?
Oh, we have a thread burner, maybe.
No, is it in your drawer?
Is
Oh.
it in there?
No.
You don't have a red burner?
Yeah.
Pull this one off.
Terry, do you want to go ahead and have me give you the gussets?
Sure.
Okay.
We're gonna do the same thing right here. And we just line these up. See how I've got this part folded. And just line them up together so they're all nice and even. Turn this on. Same thing. Hold your stitches. Make sure you don't get the zipper. See my little can.
Terry, what did we have you in here make the last time? Did we make biker wallets?
We
No,
just
we did the
Did a how to on the class
20.
Oh.
How to run a class 20.
so we did. I think we did like a field note journal, and we assembled just a couple of things. Maybe we did a biker wallet. I remember giving a biker wallet away.
I thought we did assemble one when we did the class.
The
I think we did.
bubbles that we sewed up some stuff for,
Oh, yeah.
that Melissa had made. I'm taping this because I'm going to be putting them together. You have to sew around it or all your coins will fall out.
Keep your coinage together.
Coinage together.
Wasn't there a coin shortage for a while?
That's what, every time I went into a business, they had signs up. They were like, please use exact change or pay with credit or debit cards. I know that we all probably have a really good stash of coins at home that are no longer in circulation.
Hold on just a second, Terry. Hold on. Hold on from there. Liz, can you entertain people there for a second?
Yes, of course. My whole job. Okay, so I right now am assembling that pocket pack is what I call it. So I've got this back panel and I've went ahead and I've taped on the first of the card slots. I'm not going to tape on the rest of them because we have to sew down the bottom of each of these as we put them on. So I'm just going to get this one, but I'll get the rest of them taped up, and that way when Terry's done with this little zippered gusset thingy-majig, I can hand her this and she can start sewing up all these little pockets. So we'll do this. Now this is the deluxe version of the kit. The standard version does not come with this extra 6 pocket little pack.
All right.
I don't know what else to call it.
Pocket pack.
It's a pocket pack.
Mm-hmm.
You're good. I was trying to get a better angle on the situation. All right. Carry on.
Zip all the way around here. Coins don't fall out.
Oops.
Can I have the scissors?
Yes. You want your...
Mm-hmm. So we just snip off the little ends here. My cake here, cake of tape. This is just for me to hold on to it when I go to put the gussets on. I'm just gonna fold them in half. I want to put it on the edge and in the middle. Take the other one, pull it off.
Look how she remembers the backstage and we don't even have to tell her.
She's a professional.
Yeah.
I know. Yesterday I was running around trying to, get everything together for this, and Terry was like, "It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine." And I was like, "Are you sure? Are you super comfortable with these?" And she's like, "Yeah, it's gonna be fine."
It'll be fine.
So,
It's like going to work.
you don't say. You guys sure are quiet today.
They're concentrating.
What? Perfect. Okay, so we've got these two, and now we've got this. So your first one is all ready to go, and then these two are taped.
All right. So this is just a decorative stitch that we usually try to do. Doesn't have any use to it. Maybe a stabilizer kind of thing, maybe. No?
Wanda asked if the pattern was available for this or just the kit. Right now we just have the kit. I don't believe we sell this as a pattern. We don't, I suppose if, you wanted to make it out of your own leathers, we could provide the pattern pieces, possibly, if you contacted us and reached out. The only thing is that besides the video that we're literally doing this moment, we don't have instructions on how to assemble everything that we're doing here, like as it comes in the kit. So that's just the only caveat. And then Steve asked, what are the little stickers on the head of the sewing machine?
Here? Mm-hmm. So this is your threads, 69 thread. This here is 16 to 18 on your needle.
So that's just your needle and thread guide. Mm-hmm. So for everybody, that works in the shop, each machine has this little guide on it. It tells you which needle size goes with which thread size.
And then these on here, if I'm using the certain needle, I just put it over here on the front. So if you don't use it a lot, and then you go back to your machine, you'll know what needle you've got in your machine without having to pull it out. Figure out what it was instead of having to take it out every time.
Right. Yeah, no, it's been a really nice little. In fact, actually, the other day, I think it was really funny. I was sewing. What was I sewing up the other day?
The file bag.
Yeah. And somebody asked me what size needle was in it, and it took me a minute, but then I realized that there was a little tag on the front that told me what size needle was in that machine. Melissa was rooting for me back in R&D is what I heard. So David asked if you can sew this clutch with a regular sewing machine. Honestly, David, with what we're doing right now, you could assemble the interior with a regular sewing machine, but I don't think that you would be able to sew the clutch together as it comes to you with a regular sewing machine. Because in some of these pieces, you'll have upwards of, let's see here, what is it, three pieces of leather, 4, 5, 6. Like,
This is probably 2, 3 times 4.
yeah. And we've belt knifed those edges to make them a little bit thinner so it's not so heavy, but you have upwards of almost like 6 layers of leather together on some of these seams, and so I just don't think it would work to sew on your regular home sewing machine. It's not going to have the power to get through all those layers. Do you ever have to adjust tension as you stack additional layers? Sure.
Not on this.
No.
Just make a line
Yep.
here.
Oh, I need to make a line with this thing.
Are you just marking the center of the pockets?
Yep, so each one of those has a little dip in it, so I just marked our center line. And once again, this is how this comes to you, so you don't have to do any of this. That comes assembled, the gusset comes assembled.
The only thing that doesn't come assembled is the other 2 pockets.
Yeah.
And that gives you an idea of where you want your pocket.
Yeah, we've got where we recommend that you put the other 2 pockets, but honestly, you could put them on the inside if you wanted. You can put them wherever. So, and then Terry, why don't you just throw, oh, well, let's see here. So we can do these other 2 pockets, yes, before we assemble. Is that right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Why don't you throw a stitch around that while you're just sitting there?
You want it on this side?
No.
This side.
Yeah, that side. So this is the little wrist strap that comes with the kit. And what I did yesterday is I took the kid skin lining and I just glued it to a piece of my outside and then cut around it to make the strap, and then I re-punched my hole.
When I sewed around it, I didn't lock my stitches at the beginning. I just went all the way around, and then when you come back, you just go over those 2 stitches so that it's locked.
Perfect. All right. So, well, Terry, if you want to come, at this point, you could probably switch the thread and sew up the brown one if you wanted.
While you're gluing?
Yep,
And
while I start
putting in
gluing.
the, snap.
Yes, while I put the, literally right before the video, I was like, we can't forget the closures. So this kit, the one thing that is really easy to do is to forget your closures, because there's so many different options. And so you have to decide, what closure am I going to use? And then you have to remember to put it into the right step. And so magnetic closures are really fun with this kit. There are a lot of, like in the examples that we show in your packaging, there's a lot of different straps that you can make, but we don't include any of that in the kit. That's kind of, it is your call for how you want this thing to be closed. You can tool a strap to put around it, put a buckle or a snap on or whatever. I really like the magnetic snaps. And so I grabbed, we've got these riveted, like one side is a rivet cap and then the other side is a magnetic closure. And so before we put this together, we need to make sure to install these in the pocket fronts. So just don't forget to install your hardware. What do you need?
On that back one, we need to bell knife and turn it under the other side.
Yes, on this one.
Yep.
Yep.
And then sew a black stitch on it.
You want me to glue it first?
You can.
Okay. But with first, oh, I guess, do you sew your pockets on after you've glued it up and then just sew them all the way through both layers?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Okay. So let's try not to forget the order of operations here. So I've got this little magnetic rivet back clasp is item number 020-2114. I brought a ton of different hardware with us today, and we're going to kind of play around and see which one we like, especially for the wrist wrap. So with the wrist strap, there's a bunch of different, you can put a bunch of different closures and, anyways, a lot of different hardware on this. So I brought a couple different options. Okay. So I am using for this turquoise,
Can we do that one?
yeah, it's whatever you want to do. So there's that, and then here's your gussets, and I figured you just sew the strap and then we can edge coat the strap.
Sure.
Okay. So I have chosen the plume leather that we carry, so there we are. So this is in pewter, the plume leather in pewter. It's 665-1904 because I like gray. And it goes with turquoise. So anyways, I clicked when I cut my panel out, I wanted this nice big feather to be on the front. So that is going to go on the side opposite my ID window. Oh, so at this point, this is how you would receive the kit. So I guess maybe, let me just make that clear. So if you were to buy one of these kits, you would now have received this panel with the ID window sewn on if you've chosen the deluxe version. You've got your little gusseted zippered pocket here. You've got 2 pocket panels that are loose, and then your little pocket pack. And then, so for you, now you would be at the point where you would be cutting your back panels. So I've already got those cut out, but you would have to choose or tool, like we sell it in a kit where you can tool these. Denny's done a couple pretty darn neat tooled ones. And how these go together is they fold up like a hot dog. So you put them like this, and then, they'll be lined with these pieces. And then the hot dog slides together like this. So just know that when you open it, this is going to have 2 pockets on it on this front panel here. And then when you turn it around, the back of your front panel will be hidden and will be creating a pocket on the back here. So on this top one, this front edge, we aren't going to roll any of this. All of this will just be finished edges. But on this bottom panel, we are going to bell knife and roll both the front and the back edges to create rolled pockets on those. So it goes together like this. And then this is your front flap. And then you're going to sew this whole thing up. And that's really where it comes to be kind of tricky to get this done. You've got to gusset in here, and it gets to be really tight. So this is actually a really good project for lacing or hand sewing. Like if you're going to hand sew this, it's a lot easier. Sewing this on a machine can get really tricky when you're trying to sew this little corner in here on the machine. But if you're lacing or hand sewing, it's going to be fine, and it's not too big of a deal. So okay. I'm going to go ahead and glue this one up. What's up? Oh, sorry. Apparently I'm not loud enough to talk over the sewing machine.
Well,
Who would have thunk it?
it's just compression and the noise reduction.
It's the compression.
And the noise reduction. So when Kevin comes in and whispers on the microphone, we can actually hear him.
Oh, fancy.
He's not a loud talker.
No, he's not really. He doesn't project like myself.
Were you in theater in school, Liz?
No, I was just a small person that had to make myself larger. Well, if anybody needs to repeat anything that I just said, you just let me know. Then he must have known I was gonna come steal his glue today because he got it nice and thinned out.
Mm-hmm. Mine's that way. Andrew likes to borrow my glue. He comes over and says, "Where's your glue, Terry?"
Now listen, Terry, when we talk about Andrew on this program,
Yeah.
we only talk about his inability to set snaps correctly.
Uh-huh. So you're gonna come in and help us set snaps?
I wouldn't let him. No, I'm just kidding. Probably one of my favorite things to do is make fun of Andrew's snap setting. He did the other day, though. He did show me a project where he set them the way that I prefer to set them. I was so proud.
He must not be listening.
Okay, so I'm basically just gluing up my front and my back panels. So we're going to do this on both sides. The great thing about these panels is that they're square. So there's really no, like if you've got a pattern, you want to make sure that it's going the right way, but at least you don't have to worry about, you know, the sizes going two different ways. What are they, like 7 3/4? Is that what they are? I've got these. And that kid skin really just soaks up that real quickly. So we're gonna glue these together, and then this is that inside part. And after we get it all glued, we're gonna bell knife it. So if you were in this situation where you're doing this at home and you don't have the luxury of having a bell knife, you might either cut down the kid skin before you glue it to just create that rolled edge, or you can use a skiving knife, you know, and skive it off. But you basically want to take off all the kid skin.
Try to so quiet.
You're fine. I need to not get my hardware. Oh, you know what? I don't think it matters yet, Terry, because I'm using it's really going to matter for the other one. Yeah, but I'm using the magnet, so I'll just punch the holes through the top because they have finished tops.
Now, is that your back or your front?
It'll punch through my front.
Okay.
I can set it on the pockets before we sew the pockets,
Right.
and then I'll just match it up. Okay. Oh, forgot a panel, guys. Hold on.
What'd you forget, Liz?
I forgot some glue.
Oh.
I got it. Nothing critical yet.
We got this.
You know, I don't think I've made one of these since I helped Clayton design the kit. That was a long time ago. We tried to get Clayton in here to hang out with us today, but he apparently too busy for us. He broke his arm a few weeks ago, so he's been a little gimpy the last few weeks.
We've asked him to lift stuff. Just,
Yeah.
hey, can you? No, never mind.
We said, you can just sit in here and make sure that we don't do it wrong. Really, that's all we needed. You want to make sure you get the glue all the way to the edges. You want those edges to be nice and sealed up. Okay. So it has to be glue. This. Okay, so these go together, and then we're going to bell knife the two edges. That's the top and the bottom.
So you can turn it
So we can turn it.
and pretty stitch.
So let me put these in here first. So this is the one that's really important. So I want this nice, pretty, long feather to be on the front. So that's my front one.
Change my stitch to black again.
Okay. And then my ID window goes on my front panel. So that's when you open it up, your ID window is right there. So I want to make sure that my ID window is sitting on that plume. And then you just want to line up those edges just as closely as you can. And then if you were using a clasp, like on this other clutch that we're gonna make, we're gonna use this single magnetic clasp, and it has prongs on both sides, so it has to be housed between the leathers. We chose this one because it needs to be centered, so it will go in the middle of these two pockets right here, and then it will be centered on your front. So you would want to install it here before you glued your two panels together. So just think about your closures before all of your assembly, and just make sure that you get everything done in the right steps that you need to.
Super fun.
Okay. There's my front panel. Woohoo!
Pretty.
Good. Everything's on the right side, so that will be the front of the clutch. Okay. Terry, do you always install your grommet after you sew it?
Yes.
Okay.
That's almost the last
Last things. Okay. And then this one, it just doesn't matter because it's all squares. Squares are so nice. Just line everything up, and then we can decide from there which side is our top and our bottom.
Mm-hmm. Having your glue really, really thin helps out so much, because if it's so thick, you could have big globs in there, and having it thin and it dries faster,
Yeah.
smoother. You can be able to pull it and set it where you need it. So
Okay,
it really
Terry.
helps.
Which side do we want? So this is going to go up. That's going to be the. Yeah, I think I like that. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll bell knife these two edges. Okay. So she's basically just going to take off that kid skin that I just put on the top. Yeah, we're not done yet. Oh, you know what? Since you're going to set that back up, let me glue up one of these panels and we can.
Cool. Do you have enough room to get your
Oh, my God.
power from there?
So since this is thicker than we did before, I'm going to raise up the thickness of it so we don't just tear everything up.
I don't really have a light on the sky or anything. That's okay. Go ahead.
You good?
Yep.
Beautiful. You just cut everything off. Cut it off.
Cut it all off, because then we're going to roll that over.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on, Tony. Hang on. I guess maybe you don't have to watch us bell knife this one too, but.
Right.
Well, I was gonna move the camera, so I'm not gonna move the camera back in front of the bell knife skyver.
Nah.
Yeah, not yet. We have one more panel for this brown one.
I guess I could take the other camera and show the whole room of what. Or I could use that 360 camera that Mike Swain sent us, but it's hard to get connected through HDMI at the same time.
Man, this kid skin just soaks up glue.
Yeah, and that glue just
Smells lovely.
has a great smell to it.
It's going to be a great Wednesday, guys.
Yeah.
Woohoo! Like being in the spray booth. Such a pretty color.
Yeah, what colors do we offer the clutches in?
There's the the fuchsia. And with black and whiskey and the red cardinal and the turquoise.
Okay. So we tried to do a pretty, pretty good group of colors there to get everybody something that would go with whatever outsides it is that they're wanting to put on it. Okay. It'll just dry here in just a second. Okay, so Terry, what do we need to do?
We'll tape this, turn it.
Okay, well here's that. We'll get that tape in.
Basting tape is
It's your friend.
your very good friend. Not only taping things,
I'll
but
scooch in here just
it's
bit.
no,
There we go.
not only taping things, but it's a good measure for once you tape it,
Right?
then it's a good measure to turn it under.
That 1/4 inch tape? Or 1/8 inch tape? Okay. So I guess, Terry, one thing that we need to do on this one is figure out which side of the ID window we're on, and then we need to place our clasps on either side and then attach them to our outside pocket, which would be this one. And then we cut out a couple little 1-inch washers yesterday, and we bell knifed the tiny little edges on those, and we'll glue these over our little brads on the back of the magnetic clasps here. Okay, this is looking pretty dry.
I had a question up there, Liz.
Oh, did you?
I think.
David asked if you want to make the clutch more firm, what type of back sniffer would you use? Honestly, Dave, once you get this assembled, it's going to be pretty good, especially when, you glue the 2 layers of whatever you're doing, especially if you're doing veg. I really don't think that you have to worry about a stiffener of any sort. I guess you could put a stiffener maybe in like the front flap panel to make it a little bit firmer, but I just don't know if I would, especially if you're using veg. If you're using a really thin outer leather, that might be something that you want to do. Man, I love this.
That's
All right, so
gorgeous.
this is some sort of basket weave embossed leather that we sell. That's pretty neat. Okay, yeah, bell knife that.
Yep.
Yeah, especially.
I was gonna say which side, but
It doesn't matter. Actually, why don't you do, because the diamonds are running this way, so why don't you bell knife these 2 sides?
Yep.
Okay. Let's see here. Are there any options for thinning contact cement that aren't using brand specific thinner? No. When it comes to thinning out your contact cement, you want to use whatever brand it is, because otherwise you run the risk of ruining your cement. I guess the only caveat to that would be is like water-based contact cements. But then with like thinning out those, you want to be really careful how much water you add. You don't want to put very much in at a time.
Right.
But no, you want to be brand specific, because otherwise you run the risk of ruining what you've just done. So that's no good. Or what you've just bought. Contact cement is not cheap at all. Really. Okay. So this is our front and our back, and then we need to sew these, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So next step for you guys will be to sew the bell knifed edges or your skived edges that you just did. For the little front panel, you want to sew the top and the back, the rolled edges that you just put on.
That's something that they would be doing,
Yes.
because it doesn't come that way.
Exactly. Yep. So this is you guys. You'll be sewing that. So why don't you hit that for me, and then we will figure out these pockets, because these will get sewn on next. I need to. I might need you to get a hole punch. Terry, you got any hole punches in your little bag?
No.
I didn't think about punching a hole for
Oh, you're.
my rivet. Hang on. This is a little big, but it'll work. Okay.
Oh, that looks pretty.
That does.
I'd almost do silver. Wouldn't that be great?
That would have been pretty cool. It's a shame. Okay, so we've got this. Pull up. Oh, this hole's bigger than I want it to be. So I am just going through and I'm going to set my magnetic. It's good. My magnetic clasp in the front panel because I need to get placement for the inside on this pocket. So these go here. So I've got my magnetic clasps. Terry, how do I set these? Do I just set them on? Do I get a poundo?
You got your anvil? I know we had one.
No. Do they have an anvil?
Yeah. Yeah, you put the anvil down here and then just
Oh, and then you just tap on this side.
tap it.
Did I not get an anvil? You probably said, "Hey, Liz, you need an anvil," and I said, "Yeah, sure."
Well, nope.
I saw a little.
I thought there was one on the back of the paper. There's this thing.
That's not.
No, here, you can use this.
It's one of those shoe things that we like to talk about.
Huh.
I'll run and get one.
Be careful on your run.
Okay. Okay. So we're gonna set that, but so for now, we'll do the pocket placement. So these, let's see here. So this is my back. These basically just get sewn on like this. So you line up the top edge there. And then your next one here. Just like that. And then you sew this down right here. Just to that front, and then you're going to sew across the bottom. So you'll sew across the bottom of the top one first, or the back one. Sew across the bottom. You're going to put this one down. Sew across the bottom. But once again, just keep in mind that these pocket placements are really up to you. If you wanted to flip it over, you can put them on the inside. This is just kind of how we've designed it to be like a quick card placement. You could put them, if you wanted to put them on the inside of the back, you could do that as well. However, with the deluxe, this is going to go back here. So that's where that one sits. So we've got an anvil. Perfect.
And
A smaller hole punch. Okay. So we're gonna put this. And then with these magnetic ones, you just gotta tap them till they set.
mm-hmm. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, I'm a little worried that my leather's a little thin. There we go. That pretty well, actually. Over here.
We haven't had these very
Here we
long,
go.
I don't think.
Not too awfully long. Okay, so now I've got my magnetic snaps in there. You want to make sure you don't put them too close to the edge because you still have to sew that. So you want to leave yourself a nice seam allowance.
Right.
Just so it's offset. I feel like one is higher than the other one. I'll call it fine. Okay, so now for my placement on this front pocket, Terry, do you want to go ahead and sew this one down?
You can.
Okay. We should tape it first so you don't have any accidents. And then, hopefully I was telling them right. For me, I just line up the tip with the tip. Yep.
Yep.
So, and then once again, you could put these either on the inside or on the outside.
Yeah, wherever you want to.
Wherever you want these extra pockets to be. So go ahead and put some tape on the sides too while we're at it.
So on these pockets, you'll notice that one is
Oh yeah.
a little taller here than the other one. See that? So the taller one you want to put on first. So as you're putting it on, you want to put that corner here and sew it on. And then when you go to put your second one, it's just a tad lower. I don't know if you can see it very well. See? Oh, it's a little lower.
Okay.
Beautiful.
There's that one, and I'll get this one taped while you put that one on it, and then we'll figure out the placement for these. Okay, Terry, so let's try to figure out where we need to set these snap parts. Okay. So
Anybody here are special employees walking by the door singing?
yeah, we have a lot of musically talented shop personnel here.
You're using talented very loosely.
They make us smile. We actually probably should curate a line of do you have any clips?
What if,
Oh, you know what? Maybe
I do have clips.
hold on. This. Okay, so we're just gonna, because that goes all the way basically to the bottom. And then
What if I went around with a sound recorder and we just made an SLC CD?
that would be fun.
We would send out on everybody's order for free.
You can listen to Ryan singing
Leather.
pop songs, but with leather lyrics. It's really a great part of our day here. Okay, so we've got this. So what I'm gonna do, see, this should just snap on. Make sure it's right. Sorry if my head gets in the way. And I'm just gonna mark, and I'll just pull that panel off.
That setter's not in here, is it? The little one that we cut that out with? These little holes
The setter?
for these, the little marks.
Oh,
We have a tool for that.
oh no, I don't have it in here. I was just gonna cut it with a knife.
Okay.
So you basically, you just line up, my pocket's coming to about there. And I wanna make sure that those are straight. So got those imprinted. I'm sure there's a more technical way to do this, but this seems like it'll be fine. There we go.
Beautiful.
So we're just gonna take our little knife, cut those little slots out. Those are pretty good snaps. Yeah, those are good magnets. We're just gonna pop those magnetic clasps right through. Both sides.
And there's a little metal piece that goes.
Yep, there's a little washer that I've got over here. I didn't get that all quite cut through. There we go. There we go.
Beautiful.
That in there. And then you've got your metal washers. And then, did I grab pliers? Terry's got a trick for this. Put your washers. And then you just use your knife.
Mm-hmm.
I could have swore they had pliers in here.
You close your knife in there.
Sure. Don't use the blade, guys.
Don't use the blade. Pop it out of there.
Oh, and then I'm going to put some glue on our little washers here. And you can use whatever thin leather you have as a washer. It's not going to be seen on the inside. So just make sure
You just want a washer in there so when your card goes in there, it doesn't catch on these
yeah.
little closures. You could even sew or glue a piece of leather on the back side of this before you sew it.
Yep, you could line the whole front.
Line the whole thing.
Which might, depending on the leather, obviously that, we're using this kid skin. If you have something that would be more delicate, you might want to fully line that front panel.
Yep.
Just to give it some security. Let me pop a little bit of glue there on the back of those.
I hope everybody's having fun doing this, listening to us. Haven't got to do this clutch in quite a while.
Like make a finished one? I know. Okay. We're just gonna flop this over. Pull off that tape first.
There's a lot of chatting going on.
Oh, good.
As long as you
It's only silent for us.
I
Yeah,
know, I'm over here just typing away.
nice.
Okay. Alrighty, Terry, where's our back? Where's our front? There it is. Just gonna plop that. Once again, with this one, you just match up the top edges. Really, most of assembling this kit is just matching up edges. It's kind of nice, so you have a nice seam. And there's the bottom. All right, okay, so let's go ahead. We'll put that line in there. Oh, that one, that's a hole punch, guys. You know. So put this line. Make sure it's as straight as possible. There we go. All right, Terry, off to the sewing machine.
Trying to figure out what we're gonna do on Friday.
Didn't he already have the plan?
Denny has a plan.
Yeah.
I talked to him this morning and he didn't have a plan.
We were gonna make a bag.
Make a bag.
Yeah, we're gonna start a bag.
What kind of bag?
Something with a gusset.
A gusseted bag. Mike Swain had an exhibitor show number harness. I guess when you go to a cattle auction or something along that line, and then Market started talking like he knew what it was too. So evidently they do it all over the world.
Well, that's fun.
Because Marcus is in Germany.
Oh. Well, you know, cattle is cattle.
Cattle come from everywhere. They just don't come square.
That's right.
I wonder, I can't remember who that guy was that we sent him something. He said that we should get our cows from Wendy's.
Oh, that was a
We
good
sent
one.
him something, but I can't remember who it was now.
We really appreciated that joke. I don't remember who it
I know,
was
I'd like to give him credit for it.
So they were square.
Okay.
They have square burgers, Abigail.
Okay, so here it starts to kind of get the tricky part. So we've got our clasp on, so that's, I guess we can double check, but it's kind of where it is. So, needs to be a little flatter. Anyways, so we've got that,
Right?
and then we're folded up like two hot dogs together. So this is where a lot of your volume starts to come in. So this is our front panel with our ID window. So when you've got the deluxe, this one now we'll get some tape and we will tape this on to the bottom edge of here, which will create like a cash pocket. And then you've got your 6 card pockets. And then you've got your gusseted one. And then this tapes here
Yes.
to that.
Right. Before you do that, when you go to place this one, you can go ahead and put a stitch here because it's going to be on the inside.
Ooh.
And then that way, when you go to put it together, this is not going to like shift because it's just held by the sides. So you can go ahead and lay here and do a nice stitch because it's going to be in the inside of your.
Well, let's do that.
So once it's like this,
It's hidden.
it's still going to be in the inside.
Yep. Okay, so we're gonna throw a stitch in on the bottom there.
Little tape
I got you.
because we like tape.
We've got noisy dog neighbors.
All the livestock here is going crazy.
If I was a snip, where would I be? Right here.
Terry Karen H. said many thanks.
Or
Showing her the construction.
heck yeah, we're thankful for you. We enjoy doing all of this. Anything we can help you with,
Should I tape the sides so they don't move too?
that'd be
I
fun.
should probably do that.
We were talking a little bit about is like just the process of putting something all together like this with pockets, even if it's not this kit.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It takes a process. That's why you get to charge what you charge sometimes when you're making custom projects for people.
Man, I tell you what, Clayton and I, it took us so long to come up with a clutch kit that was like something that you guys could still tool and put together. But that also like we could assemble here in house, you know, for the most part, because clutches can really, with all the pockets and all the different things, they can start to become quite complex. And to, you know, find a design that was,
The outer part of a clutch is the prettiest part, but you always want to make sure that what is inside is going to be happy for you. Of how many cards you want, if you have change, just it's all different for everybody. We're just gonna do a stitch right here on the bottom.
Terry, should I tape these gussets?
Yes.
Okay.
You can actually glue them, which it makes it even better to hold so it's not going to go anywhere.
You want to glue?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Guys, I thought we could get 2 done today easily, but this is, I think we're going to barely get through this one. Oh,
What are you going up over there, Lynn?
I am putting glue on the gusset.
On the gussets.
On the inside or both sides?
Well, just on the inside. So, on the back of the inside.
Oh.
So I have my zipper to the right, or to the left. I've got the zipper to the left, because it opens to the right. And so, yep. So on the back side of those, I've got a little bit of glue, and then we're gonna put some glue on the finished side of this. If you're doing a real good job, you might rough this up a little bit, but this should be okay.
The reason why band grip or glue is better is because once you are sewing this, you're going to be turning this in such a way that the tape will probably not give it a solid enough hold for it.
If there were ever a finger fight in leathercraft, it's this clutch assembly that we're about to do.
Yeah.
What a great shot that is.
We do have a blow dryer behind us. We're just too lazy to get it out.
The
It's
extra
noisy.
It is noisy. We don't need any help with that. Okay,
looks good.
that should be good. Okay, so Terry, do I line this up with the bottom? Okay.
Yeah.
So we line it.
And with all this gusset, it should line up to the corners. Look at that.
Okay, so we've got that side on.
Yep.
And then we're gonna pull this side out.
See how it's pulled, so the gluing is better than the taping because it would slide a little bit.
Yeah,
The tape's good for
flat things.
flat things and when you're turning and getting ready to sew right away to hold it in place. But when you've got all of this,
So we've got, see, even at this point, we've got this, let's see here, 3 pockets plus the back. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7 layers in this seam right now, which I think this is the heaviest one right here.
Yep.
Because then we also have 7, 8, 9. So there's 9 layers of leather in that seam. Okay. So those are all sewn
yep,
or glued. They're only glued.
yeah,
Okay.
just glued. So now we're gonna lay this just right here and mark it. And when we go to sew, we want to sew this first because it's always the pretty side. So we'll glue here.
Okay. And in the instructions that we provide with the kit, it gives you all the measurements that you need pretty specifically for all of these little panels. So let's start drying.
Yeah. This part is the one that you want to take your most time with because trying to sew it on a flatbed, you're on a flat surface. The first stitch is fine. The back part, you're having to pull everything to one side or the other.
That's why at this point, if you were wanting to lace or hand sew this kit, you would basically just punch all your holes here. So you get your 2 panels together, you could punch all of your lacing slots, all of it, well, this way, you know, punch these separately because those should like line up if you start at the same, you know, amount down from the top. This starts from the same amount down from the top. You punch all that, and then you just start lacing it together or hand sewing it together.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you're lacing it, I would say take this gusset and lay it down here, and then punch your holes.
Yep.
For both this, and then take it and then glue it here. That way, when you go to punch your holes, it's already ready to go. So when you go to put them together, your holes will all match up easier.
Yeah. Yep. And same way for hand sewing. So do it this way first. Okay. So now we're gonna
Put them together.
put them together.
So this part here, we'll just take it here.
Get that top edge lined up with the gusset and the top edge of that insert.
My finger's in the way.
Oh,
I switched cameras.
There we go.
Thank you, Tony.
I do what I can over here.
So, see how they are? All right, so now, before you do anything, you want to sew your pretty stitch on this side, because that's what's going to show first, and then the back side last.
So do you want to sew all the way around to like maybe down a little bit to where that's going to start? Oh, that's why you put the mark on it that we didn't do. So we're going to sew. Okay. And then. Okay.
There you go.
So it's like an inch down, probably. Now she's going to mark the front because she's not sewing from the back. Terry, while you do that, I'm going to start trying to edge coat this strap.
Nice. With the Fenice.
With the Fenice.
This is the fun part where you
Try not to throw your fingers.
you twist it to the side.
I think she's using fun as a loose word.
I don't disagree with that, Liz.
Mmm.
Fun.
Thanks, Tony.
Okay. You do you.
Follow me around.
No. Just zooming it out so we can see everything.
Oh.
And that's where the mark that you made.
Uh-huh. Then we'll follow up with the other side. Ta-da.
Look at that.
Got these sewn up, both sides. Let me get over here. We'll glue that, so it just makes it easier if you glue it, because taping it, with it being so much,
Okay. So
it could slide so easily.
Yeah, you really got to make sure that you have all of those. You want to make sure that your stacking of all of your things is on point, because your seam allowance is, you've got an 1/8 of an inch seam allowance probably.
Yeah.
So you really got to make sure all those panels are.
There you go.
Okay.
Now you know where.
Now I know where to stop.
Is this going to be one of the giveaways?
I'm sure we could give it away. Not opposed.
We've been known to give things away.
We have been. It's something that we do on a semi-regular basis.
Sometimes even twice a week. We gave away hats. What did we give away the week before that? Oh, we gave away the tool tripod chair that Denny did.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's pretty.
Let that dry for a second. Do the waving
We
again.
don't have our little fan anymore. We sewed it up.
Let's see here, Terry. Oh, I'm working on getting this strap edge coated. I'm gonna let this one side dry. So I just used some black Finici edge paint on there with our little roller edge applicator. So we'll keep going around and get the rest of it edge coated, and then it should be ready, to put it on by the time you're done sewing. I hope. That's the plan.
That's the plan.
You guys are sticking around for quite the show today. Maybe some of you are sticking around. Maybe we've lost the rest of you to actual food. We'll see.
Ooh, look at that.
Not too shabby, Terry.
We almost got the
Yeah.
leaf in there.
Oh, look at that. Oh, yeah.
See?
Oh, that kind of all matched up.
That's kind of cool.
Not even on purpose.
We didn't plan
We
that at
didn't
all.
plan that.
All right. So we're going to go back over and sew it.
Does it feel good? Feel secure?
You just want to make sure that you've got all of these where it's not going to move on you. Because like I said, the basting tape is not the best for this. You can see,
Oh, you want that one? Okay.
yeah. See how thick this is?
What did we say it was 9 layers?
Yeah. So to sew that, some would just sew it this way and would be easier
Yeah.
to sew.
If you want your finish it. And that's why, honestly, like hand sewing this kit is probably ideal. Which a lot of you do. So that's why it's okay.
You have me a couple paper towels on there. So people saw our Facebook post the other day. Yesterday, in fact. We got a box of stuff in.
Are these treats for me?
Well, one for you and one for Terry.
Oh, guys.
And this box came all the way from Bulgaria.
You guys know what we get for Bulgaria.
Yeah.
And Lindsay gave me a piece of chocolate yesterday that was phenomenal.
It was the dark chocolate from Bulgaria. It first came in here, and half of it might have disappeared before it left this room. Well, Terry's over there wrestling with a wallet.
It's a bit of a finger fight, y'all.
It is.
We'll let her concentrate so she doesn't stitch her finger.
Yeah, don't do that. Yeah, Mr. Sergey really spoiled us with this shipment. So you sew those 2 panels from the front side? It's pretty much impossible to sew them from the back.
You could if you had like a 26 or something where you won't have the flatness of the table.
Yeah.
It really doesn't show any different if your stitches. This is
looks pretty
the
good
back
still.
stitch of it, and this is the front when I sewed it. So just holding it.
Okay. Are you gonna flip it around and sew that front edge?
I already did. This here we'll sew next. Oh, this way. Right here. Side. When you break it.
Oh, did you just break a needle?
Oh,
We got to the easy part and we broke a needle. We
what do you need?
Pliers.
Okay. Scalpel.
Scalpel. There should be a little screwdriver in there.
There's that one.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think that we've actually put any of the Sergey stamps into stock yet for them to be able to be purchased.
Yeah, we're working. It literally just came the other night, so we're processing everything.
My
And,
battery got tired.
Oh, so we're back on me. Hi guys. So I'm actually assembling the wrist strap right now. I went through and I edge painted with the black Finici, and I could have probably done a couple more coats, but just right now I'm just gonna leave it at this. And I've grabbed one of these spring. Let's see, what is it called? Spring gate round ring. So this is the 1-inch spring gate round ring. They come in pairs. They're meant for like just handbag hardware, but I'm going to use it for my wrist strap. That way, if I wanted to take it off of the clutch, I can. So I'm just going to house that in the little crook of my strap here and decide which end I want out. So a little strap. Take a good old double cap rivet.
Oh, good grief.
We're going too long today, guys.
There we go.
Awesome. We don't have a thread burner, so we're just gonna have a bunch of loose threads here. But it's gonna be great. So when we're done here, I'm gonna go through and I will edge coat all of it with the black Finici and get that all finished up. But for right now, I'm going to pop this grommet into the side. Let's see here if I was holding this. I'm gonna put it on this side.
Where's the zipper?
The zipper is here.
And when it closes,
Uh-huh.
You want to put it
I
here?
want to put it there. Okay.
Away. Hold on. Let's see that part again.
So the zipper closes to the left when it's open. The zipper's a little bit stiff right now. So I'm gonna put a grommet right here in the fold.
Yeah.
So it's gonna come out the top right here, and that will be where I connect the wrist strap to. So in here. So I'm just gonna pop right below that little pocket pack, or right above it in the corner. You wanna make sure, let's scooch everything over. You want to make sure that your grommet isn't going to be hanging over the edge. Like right inside that stitch is basically where you want it. Tony's running.
No, I'm trying to get there. We were talking about what leather is that on the front of the table? The weave.
Basket weave.
Let's see, I have my catalog.
Number on it.
Is it in the catalog this year?
Oh no, it's probably not in that one.
It's probably new. It's some sort of a weave.
I think if you
They'll find it.
look on the website and just type in basket weave. Do you have a number on it?
I know.
Let's see.
Oh,
63-7033.
Yep.
okay. So we've got. We want to make sure that we're under the pocket. So you want to make sure that you're not punching through this back pocket. So just on top of that. Right there is where we're going to put it. So I'm going to take my 1/4 inch hole punch because this is a 1/4 inch grommet.
The 1/4 inch is just perfect. It's the same one we use for our bikers.
Yeah.
We don't need a really big.
Pop it through. Grab my grommet setter, which is the same size. Actually flip that around. Like. I love setting grommets. I know I've said that before. It's my favorite thing. Now we've got that grommet right there. And I've got my little push gate. So I will just clip it right in. And like I said, I'm going to do my edge finishing here in just a little bit. And there's the clutch.
So you've got a back,
Yep.
little back pocket.
Got
the back
pocket that, I don't know, will my cell phone fit in here? Oh, cell phones are getting big these days, guys, but it does fit.
What size is your cell phone?
I have a Note 10 is what I've got.
That's a pretty good size.
With a pretty decent case, yeah. So my Note 10 fits right in there. And then open it up. You've got your card pockets here. You've got this little open section. You've got your zippered pocket. And then you've got all these card pockets and then a cash slot back here. So, and then your ID window.
Pretty good setup.
Yeah.
If somebody was gonna make this, say they got it from us and they were gonna retail it to somebody else or they put something together, what would you sell something like that for?
I think the kit is like 40 something. For like the deluxe is 40 or 45, somewhere in there. If you're just gonna do, like, these embossed leathers are almost $10 a foot. And you've got at least 2 square feet here, like once you get everything centered where you want it. So that's another 20 bucks in leather. So you've got $60 just in materials. If you're doing tooling, then that hikes it up even more just because you've got all your time and the tooling, and Herman Oak is probably about the same. So honestly, I'd like 100, like 120, probably at
That's
the
what I was gonna say.
Like,
120 would be a minimum.
doubling. Yeah, that doesn't include your time putting it together.
Also, not just being a clutch, but you could put 2 grommets here
Yep,
and
you can put
have
little
a
strap.
crossbody.
Yeah, so there's a lot of customization that you can do with this, but no, it's a great little clutch. Yeah, it's not just a wallet. Like, it could just be it's a little handbag.
Yep.
It's all in one.
So we talked a little bit about this a second ago.
Ooh.
So, and Sergey made this for us.
So Sergey made us a amazing, let's see here. So this is a brass wheel to go in our embossing machine. We've got like the oldest embosser in the world, and he custom did this one for us. It says Springfield leather on it, and it's got a really cool like floral pattern. So here's a belt that we did yesterday when it came in. It's kind of hard to see.
Why don't we use that top one?
So got our logo
That's
in it.
gorgeous.
So we're still trying to figure out what we're going to do with this awesome new embossing wheel that we have. You know, you might start seeing it in your orders, just hanging out, saying hey. Anyways.
So then they sent us.
Oh, and treats.
They sent us some cookies. So
Look,
these
Terry,
are.
we get a treat for our hard work.
Hey.
These are Varna mini wafers, and so before you eat it, they are with peanut cream and orange. So anybody allergic to peanuts?
Nope.
All right, mini wafers with peanut and cream from Bulgaria.
Thanks, Sergey.
Thank you.
That's
I
really
would
good.
read the stuff on the back, but
He can't.
I don't read those
Well, it's
characters.
got a good flavor.
That orange is good.
I know.
Like a little surprise. Awesome. Well, guys, we have spent enough of your Wednesday afternoon here with us, hanging out, making this clutch. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're inspired to go make one of your own.
Yeah.
Denny and I will see you Friday doing something. I'm sure it's going
We'll
to be
finish
great.
it out and we'll probably give it away on Friday.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that. Okay. Have a great rest of your day, guys. We'll see ya.
See ya.
Thanks.